Local, late breaking. This is WNBF News at 4.
Today at 4, we're partnering with the American Red Cross, raising money to help our friends and neighbors recover from the historic flooding in our area. We'll be checking in all night to see how our volunteers are doing. You can call the number on your screen right now to pledge a donation. But right now, let's get over to First Alert Meteorologist, Chief Meteorologist Jamie Arnold.
And Lisa, things remaining beautiful out there on this Wednesday afternoon.
And new at 4 today, Darlington County sheriffs say they discovered a large quantity of meth following a chase today. The sheriff's department says the chase began on I-20 near mile marker 137 west of the city of Florence, and it ended on Interstate 95 near mile marker 170 north of Florence. We will bring you any new details on this incident as soon as they become available. Myrtle Beach police are asking for your help. They are looking for this man, Jason Cole, for a questioning about a burglary that occurred at a residence on 48th Avenue North on September 1st. Approximately $6,800 worth of items are missing, including electronics and jewelry. If you have any information on Cole's whereabouts, contact the Myrtle Beach Police Department. It has been nearly 2 weeks since the storm hit and many cars got stuck or damaged in the flood. And as Jenna DeAngelis found out, if you're looking to buy a new car or get one fixed, you need to be on high alert.
WNBF News.
Great tips there, Jenna. The state EMD is reassuring residents, saying that you should not be discouraged if you receive a letter from FEMA saying you are ineligible for disaster assistance. The department says it may mean that FEMA just doesn't have the information it's needed to make a decision, such as insurance info, proof of occupancy, or other paperwork. For more information and help on applying for federal assistance, visit WNBFnews.com. State Senator Hugh Leatherman of Florence says there's no need for a special session of the legislature to deal with flooding since officials do not have the estimates on the extent of the problems. Leatherman says lawmakers will have a better idea of what is needed when they return to the State House in January for their regular session. Governor Haley has also said there is not enough information at this time to call lawmakers into special session now. Some House members last week called for a special session to borrow money to fix damaged roads and help victims. A traffic accident with injuries blocked 2 lanes of Highway 17 bypass at Glens Bay Road for nearly 2 hours this morning. According to South Carolina Highway Patrol, the accident occurred just after 7 a.m. No word yet on the number or severity of the injuries. Once a former strip club, now a cleared site after demolition crews tore down the former location of the Bunny Ranch. Mandy Knoll was there as crews got started. She joins us with the future plans for the space. Uber is announcing that Myrtle Beach area drivers will begin receiving Amber Alerts. The popular ride-hailing app is partnering with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Uber says starting today, drivers will receive geographically targeted information that may help locate and recover a missing child as soon as alerts are issued. When we return, we'll be taking you to the phone bank where we are helping raise money for the Carolina flood recovery. Call the number on your screen to donate now. This is your chance to donate to victims of the historic flooding across South Carolina. Right now, Red Cross volunteers are hard at work in our phone bank accepting donations. Theo Hayes is in there right now. And Theo, how are things going in there?
Well, Lisa, I got to tell you, first of all, we just got a $500 donation from right here. BJ took that call and applause went out. We all were screaming, and it's just a really good time.
And you're ready for that.
I'm sure everyone at home is just so happy to hear the words nice and comfortable come out of your mouth describing the weather.
Yeah, describing that, and dry, considering the last 2 weekends of dealing with heavy rain and flooding. A weekend of nothing but sunshine and comfortable temperatures, very much needed.
Sounds great.
Yep.
Looking forward to it. At least 3 people are in the hospital after a shooting near the Tennessee State University campus overnight. Nashville police say the shots were fired just after midnight during an off-campus party. A few hundred people were at the party when police say a group of armed men arrived and were turned away. Police say those people started shooting into the crowd of more than 100 people, picking random targets. The victims are students from Tennessee State University, Nashville State University, and Middle Tennessee State University. One of the victims reportedly shot in the head is in critical condition. The other 2 victims have minor gunshot wounds. A Milwaukee gun store is found negligent Tuesday for selling a gun in a so-called straw buy to a man who seriously injured 2 police officers. The jury awarded those officers millions of dollars in damages. It's a decision that could be the first of its kind in the nation. Ben Handelman has the story.
After more than 2 weeks in a Milwaukee County courtroom,
has the jury reached a verdict in this case?
Yes.
A decision is in.
Was such sale by Badger Guns to Jacob Collins negligence? The jury answered this question, yes.
In a case that could send shockwaves to gun sellers across the country, more than $5 million is awarded to 2 Milwaukee police officers seriously injured in a shooting. In 2009, officers Brian Norberg and Graham Kunich were shot in the head by Julius Burton. Burton, who was not allowed to own a weapon, got one by having a friend buy a gun at Badger Guns. The store's owners now being held financially responsible for the outcome of the sale.
I didn't want to send a message around the country. What I wanted to do is represent my two clients, these 2 Milwaukee police officers. And if some gun dealers around the country realize that they may have their feet held to the fire because of the punitive damage award here, then that's a bonus.
The officers' lawyers admit there will still be plenty of battles before a single paycheck will be cashed.
And we have to wait the years of appeals. So whether they're ever going to see a dime or not is still open question.
There are certainly national ramifications to this verdict, because as far as I know, this is the first time that a retailer has been held liable.
Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett is hopeful the jury has sent a message. Those who sell guns may not be off the hook once weapons are out of their hands.
I want gun dealers to be on notice that they have a responsibility.
A 2005 federal law granted broad immunity to gun dealers and manufacturers. The Milwaukee Journal reports the case is the second to go to trial since the passage of that law. A Texas high school student was shot during a robbery as she walked to school Wednesday morning in Northeast Houston. The 12th grader, who attends Barbara Jordan High School, was walking to school from a nearby bus stop when witnesses say a man in a black car stopped her. According to neighbors, the man ran at her with a gun and she started screaming. He then shot her in the arm, took her purse, and fled the scene. She is expected to be okay. The school district says all students are safe and they had extra officers around the school and in the area as a precaution. 2 years ago today, Target suffered a massive security breach. When WNBF News returns, hear what they're doing now to protect their customers. The United Kingdom's first Ebola patient is back in the hospital in serious condition. Pauline Cafferkey was initially treated for Ebola last December and released from the hospital after reportedly recovering from the virus. Health officials say the 39-year-old nurse is now experiencing an unusually late complication from Ebola. She is currently being treated in the infectious disease unit at Queen Elizabeth University Hospital in Glasgow. American doctor Ian Crozier was treated for Ebola last year and declared free of the virus. Later, traces of the virus were found in fluid from his eye. Crozier is now doing fine. Following a mastectomy, breast cancer patients often endure the physical and emotional scars. Now, various organizations help patients get access to prosthetics and post-mastectomy garments to make them feel more comfortable in their bodies. Stefani Brogian has the story.
It's nice, stretchy, comfortable. This could be worn for sleep.
It's been 2 years since Target suffered a catastrophic data breach that exposed the personal information of up to 70 million shoppers. Now the retailer has begun converting all of its red card credit and debit cards to chip and PIN cards. This means customers will have to enter personal identification numbers, not just a signature to complete a transaction. Old cards hold payment data in the magnetic strip, which is easy for thieves to steal, duplicate, and put onto fake cards.
Well, counting down to the weekend and a big temperature drop. All of my first alert forecast coming up at 4:30. 30s. Some of us could actually be seeing some 30s by the time the weekend is done. I'll have a look at when that happens coming up in my full forecast.
All right, Jamie, that's scary a little bit. 30s already? All right. Well, we've told you about the numerous rescues that happened during the recent flooding and how some of those rescues were only possible because of military-style equipment.
And Ken Baker is live in Florence County. He found out just how crucial deputies say that equipment is during natural disasters. Ken.
Yeah.
Many homeowners in one Horry County community are blaming the developer for their prolonged flooding. But leaders with Horry County Stormwater Management say the developer actually deserves a little more credit for its prompt response to the problem. Samaria Terry is live in Cameron Village with more.
Neighbors tell me
A suspect is behind bars in the death of a 76-year-old Richland County woman found dead after an apparent robbery. James Hayward was arrested Tuesday morning and charged with murder, burglary, and kidnapping. Richland County deputies say they got a call to the home on Sunday and found the woman's body. The coroner says she died from traumatic injuries to her upper body. Deputies say the woman's 8-year-old granddaughter was tied up during the robbery, but somehow managed to free herself and call 911. The girl was then taken to the hospital for evaluation.
The committee looking for a new president.
And the day after the Democrats' big debate in the desert, even Donald Trump is saying Hillary Clinton had a good night. And Bernie Sanders got a lot more attention for his socialist message. Steve Handelsman has the story from Henderson, Nevada.
Hillary Clinton's supporters are overjoyed at her performance.
It will be the next county beyond that, but Richland County has at least 50% more impacted roads and bridges than the next nearest county.
Governor Nikki Haley and other emergency officials talking about the extensive cleanup, not only there in Columbia, but really all over South Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about the Team South Carolina Days, that first one being held Friday in Sumter, 11 to 7, just to try to encourage and motivate people to volunteer in South Carolina. Of course, this continues ongoing, and you're watching WMF News. Stay with us.
HD programming on WNBF.